Welcome to Cult Wine on YouTube. We are back and sorry once again for the sort of long wait. I'm going to try and do these a little bit more frequently. So this is follow up to the last video we did, which was what is natural wine. And so this one essentially is for and against natural wine. So I'm going to sort of level a couple of criticisms of natural wine and at the same time sort of defend them, and then I'm going to go and talk about why I think natural wine is really exciting, it's good for consumers, and it's good for the wine industry in general, regardless of whether you like it or hate it. So, first of all, and I was looking for a video, an article, and as soon as I find it, I will post it in the comments. So it might not post it in the notes. So it might not be there straight away, but it's really, really good. It's an absolutely horrible attack on natural wine that is so profoundly fallacious. But it does give you a good picture of how people think of natural wine. First, most common excuse I hear, natural wine is an excuse for faulty wine. I think natural wine can be an excuse for faulty wine. I think a lot of natural winemakers justify wine faults on the basis of being natural, but by and large, we don't stock those wines, we're not proud of those wines, and I think those wines set natural wine, or the ideas behind natural wine, back. I don't think a wine has to be perfect. Like, there's some really good examples of some wines that we have that have technical faults, but they have so much more, and I include both natural wine and not necessarily, we'll get onto that, wines that don't fall into the natural wine sort of mythos. To that, not every wine has to be fault-free. If a wine is absolutely delicious, a little bit of Brett or a little bit of VA or a little bit of something else that's a little bit kind of off-piste can be absolutely fine. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, and don't drink it. That said, there are some profoundly faulty wines that are passed off and made excuses of for natural, and I think that's rubbish. Generally, like, we're tolerant of a wine not being polished, is a way of saying it really well, up to sort of the $30 mark. After that, the wine just has to be damn good, and it doesn't matter whether it's natural or conventional or anything. And that's simply a value proposition to our customers. But that said, there are a few things. I'm thinking of the Bellbird Spring Sous Voile, which is just outside the shop. Now that is a amazing, relatively natural wine, which is made by aging Pinot Gris under floor yeast. It's so dry and nutty, and it's kind of halfway between Vingelon and Sherry, but made in Canterbury by Guy at Bellbird Spring, and it's fucking incredible. It does have a little bit of VA, but by God, the wine works, and it is fine, it is elegant, it is profound, it is a really moving, awesome wine. So, short answer is yes. Natural wine is often used as an excuse for faulty wine, but basically the people who are making faulty wines like that won't end up staying in business because people won't keep buying them. And natural wine shouldn't be an excuse for faults. Now the other thing I get so often, especially with origin wine and things like pet nats, is that it masks terroir. It masks the character of the vineyard, and I would argue that at times when people go overboard with winemaking, now that could be just going overboard with skin contact in a natural wine context, but it could be also be going overboard with oak or anything else. Basically, the more you do to a wine, the more that it masks terroir. Now, sometimes doing nothing to a wine, or doing as little as possible to a wine, is actually doing something because you're making a choice about what not to do. And so sometimes the wines can mask terroir, especially with long skin contact, with a bit of funk. those sort of things. But by and large, I would say that some of the natural wines that I love are the most profound expressions of terroir, because simply because they don't have that winemaking artifice attached to them. An example, because it's right here. Sottimano are an awesome Barbaresco producer, and they are a natural wine making business. The wines are natural, but they are also elegant, refined, intellectual, and really beautiful wines. They are, if you didn't know they were natural, you wouldn't necessarily go, oh, that's a natural wine. But they happen to make wine naturally, which is sort of all of the things going back to the last video that we talked about. So I would say the very best wines, the very best natural wines, don't necessarily taste natural, and by that I mean what we sort of conceive of natural as cloudy, a bit funky, those sort of things. But they are perfect examples. They are the best examples of how you can make really moving, profound wine naturally. And so to say that natural wine masks terroir is bullshit. Then, as I alluded to earlier, the heads and tails of the question isn't all wine natural / no wine is natural. And the idea behind that is isn't all wine natural is basically like, well, all wine's made from grapes, we more or less do the same things to them. And the other side of it is, well, we make decisions to make wine, and there are things that we do, therefore wine can't be natural. Now, I think both of those are kind of rubbish arguments. First of all, I would totally agree with most people in the natural wine kind of movement to say that natural wine is a really shit term. It does imply that other wine is not natural, which is probably not like the best thing in the world, because for me there's like a scale of naturalness. There is really hands-off, extreme winemakers have done as little to them as possible, but ultimately, like, winemakers make decisions all along the process, and each decision you make takes the wine a little bit further away from being grape juice, and hopefully a little bit closer to tasting amazing and being a profound expression of where it comes from. That said, the argument isn't all wine natural is also rubbish. Well, is rubbish too. I'll link to an article. There's a great article by Bianca Brooker, and we'll talk about this in a second, about all the things they can do to wine to make it taste the same. And some of those, even for some pretty good wines, are by no means anything that the average person would describe as natural. Adding tannin, adding colour, manipulating aromatics with yeast strains, getting absolutely as much juice out of grapes as humanly possible by putting them through mechanical processes. I'm not saying any of these things are necessarily bad in and of themselves, but I don't consider those things natural. Where, especially in terms of mechanization, where theoretically you can actually make a natural wine with good knowledge and good experience with very little equipment, and that's it. It's not technology. It's winemaking at its rawest. And that's it. Technology's been a great thing for natural wine. We now know about bacterial spoilage. We now know about keeping a clean winery. And all of those things means we can make better and better wine with as little intervention as possible. Now going to some four. One of the things I think is most important about natural wine for the whole wine industry is that it is re-democratizing wine. It is stripping away some of the hierarchies of wine, that this vineyard is better than this one, or this variety is more important than this one. I mean, like, people are coming in and asking for Gruner Veltliner, which is an Austrian variety. Not because they're cool, but because they can be interesting expressions of where they come from. And wines had so much bullshit, wank attached to it, that the fact that natural wine is making wine a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable is really, really good for everyone, including really stodgy wine producers, because it means that it's bringing new customers into wine who will try different things, and they might fall in love with your ridiculously expensive Hawke's Bay Cabernet. And one other thing, that the last thing I would say about why natural wine is important is it forces us, it challenges us about what we believe in wine-wise, and it challenges us to confront some of the less scrupulous practices in the industry. And that can be human resources, that can be winemaking. Going back to that Bianca Broca article, lots of people really hated it, really attacked Bianca for it. I thought it was great. It was sort of a celebration of these overly manipulated wines. And like, a lot of those wines taste absolutely amazing, and there is nothing wrong with that. But educating people about how those wines are made and what goes into those wines is really, really important, because it forces people to think about wine. And if people think about wine, ultimately the vast majority of them end up enjoying better wine, potentially spending more on a bottle of wine, which I think is good for the industry, and I think it's good for, to a degree, good for society in general. I think I've always been a proponent of the fact, if you get people drinking better drink with wine, beer, spirits, by and large, they'll drink less of it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for society. And also thinking about it slows down the process and questions how we drink. And I think that's really, really important too. So that was a little for and against natural wine. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty light.